I kind of had it better a second ago. And that's the wrong way. All right. Adjusting. I gotta get like a little stool or something instead of this chair. That's another upgrade we need. I'll use this for stuff. A work in progress. All right. All right. Paper towel. I should have my left hand be the one with the glove on too, by the way. So I'm gonna have one hand on the glove. That way, this is the dirty one. It's gonna get dirty. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right. Water up. I'm gonna adjust my position. Oh, hello, Ryan McCormick. How are you doing? Frost FN. What's up? We're just gonna get started working on this again. All right. Oh, this is cool seeing it again. I was doing this earlier today, and now we're coming back to it, and it looks like it's dried mostly, so that's helpful. Thank you, Jason. Or, sorry, my eyes, new glasses. Sorry, the cheap pair, you know. But Jackson C14. Okay, cool. I like names. Names are good. So you always have cool names. I appreciate your compliment. It means a lot. Yes, so I just worked on. I made this earlier. I think that I'm actually saving the lives and like automatically YouTube does that. So I'm just gonna start posting them too. So like if you wanted to see the earlier section of how this went, and I talk about stuff too, you could check out the old live. I think that that'll be available like tomorrow at some point. I'll put it up. I have like another old one, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of see if I can do some more tonight. I might only be on for like, I don't know, like what time is it? 8:30, maybe an hour. That's about. I try to go for an hour. That seems to work. And I saw somebody else say, Nate, that's really nice. Thank you. You're really nice. Yes, I don't know. I like doing this stuff. I'm painting. I mean, I guess now it's been a year. that I started painting abstractions, painting in general. 1 full year now. Oh, let me reset my little brush here a little. Excuse me. I don't want to go into that yet. Oh, actually, I got like these little frog-like things going on. I'm gonna try to get more color on. Painting is so relaxing. It helps me like think about stuff. It's like a meditation in itself, right? Like I just think about everything in a calm way. And that doesn't sound relaxing when I just said it like that. But for me, it's nice to have like something nice that I'm doing while I'm, naturally processing things. And sometimes I'm just quietly painting. Whatever the mood. It's just a way to connect yourself, or disconnect yourself. Whatever you need, it kind of can serve a purpose. But I tell you, brown for me is a tough color to work with. Still working on that. But I'm going to keep working it. One thing I find that while I'm painting these, there's a lot of times where the process point of it, like I'll really like where it is, and then I still have to keep going, like, because I'm not done. And then I like the next stage and the next stage. So that's actually what led me to realizing I should kind of stream these because, I mean, the whole process is interesting. And I want to have a way to save that. And then sometimes, like, I mean, I guess the initial reason I wanted to do it too is so that I can go back and watch it myself and see what I was up to. And then maybe I'll see a stopping point that I missed, and then that'll serve me later. Like, maybe it was too late to stop at that point then, but there might be like a lesson involved somewhere. And sometimes I say stuff that I don't realize I say, and then I'll look back and be like, wow, okay, I like that. I like the way I did that, or whatever. It's just a process of learning, like everything. That's so pretty. Can I please have a shout out, bro? Ah, look at me. I'm shouting people out now. I didn't even think of it like that. Nat Squad R5E, right? Nat Squad R5E. Hello. Yeah, I notice, and this makes a lot of sense. Like, it seems like people will join, they'll check it out, they'll be like, sweet. And then they move on. That's so cool. I love that, like, that's even a thing. Like, I don't mind if people have other stuff to do. That's awesome. That's what I would do. I would probably pop in, see something, check it out, maybe come back later. Do what you want to do, man. I'll be here. I just got these new blues because I'll tell you where I get my supplies. It ain't special. I mean, Target. Target's the way to go. You sharing this to your art teacher? Oh my god, I love that. I what was it? You know what I do? That's actually maybe kind of cool if you're really interested in like art and stuff. There's on Facebook. There's these pages for different types of art. So I like to join abstract art pages, and I mean, especially when I first started, it was huge for me because I got to see what other people are doing. Like without having to sign up for anything. You know, I just joined a Facebook group, and now I got a whole like community of people doing the same thing I like to do with their free time. You know, like we're all just in this together, right? So I get like this opportunity to learn so much. Racing games. Oh, that's sick. I remember like Forza 2 and stuff when I was playing games and stuff. It's been a while since I've been allowing myself time to do something like that, but boy, is it fun. It's like, where does the time go? What kind of racing game you playing? I mean, what is it, like on the computer or console or something? Just give me a second. I want to see what I can. I'm not getting the color I want out of this. So I poked a hole in this because I was struggling, so I left it. I'm gonna force it open. My little thing. Oh, Forza 5 on a wheel. Oh, you got a racing wheel, man? That's so cool. Oh, that's like so cool. It's like a simulation at that point. Oops, I got. This is what I learned. Waiting on 6. 20%. I'm good. Yeah. The charger's over here. I got paint on my hand. My wife's assisting. She's having soup right now. All right. Waiting on 6. Yeah. When's that coming out? It's like such a cool feeling, like the anticipation of a game coming out. Um, all right, I'm gonna carry on here as well. I got. It's funny. My paint wheel. I used to clean it off when I first started painting. I would clean it after everything, and then after a while, I realized I would just like let it dry and then just cover it again. Like, what am I doing? Overworking. That was a good lesson. Oh boy, look at all that blue. Oh, it's so cool to get a lot of blue. I get a lot of color. That's something they were telling me in those art pages. You got to really load up your brush. Now you don't have to, I guess, if you're going for it like a different way, but 9 times out of 10, you actually want your brush loaded up because that is so satisfying when you get like the nice color you're feeling like you want. I still feel like a beginner always. And I mean, it's like that's the way to be, right? Like you're always learning and growing. Everything you do in life. What we got? June's the release is being announced. Oh, so they didn't even tell us when it's coming out yet. But in June we're gonna find out. Is that what it is? We're still waiting on GTA to come out, the new one. We got this and that before GTA 6, you know. Yeah. How's this looking on the thing? Oh yeah, it looks kind of cool. November. Oh, GTA 6 is November? Okay. Wow, finally we got a I'm glad I mentioned that cuz now I know. I never would have, I just wouldn't have thought to look it up or anything. Man, communication's the key to everything, right? My old boss has said that once. I can't remember exactly who, but that lesson, it's a real one. All right, so I'm telling you right now, I want something going on with this blue. Like the way it is, it's so like, and I wonder if I should adjust the camera. Like I got this little tripod thing. I was Before I got this, I was stacking my phone on top of like a little bunch of like random stuff I could find to make it look right. And now I got a little tripod deal. I'm trying that out because this is just a fun thing to do. It's not like this is like I don't do this for a living, so it's just kind of. It's actually like something I used to think about when I was younger. Like, boy, I wish I could afford to have like things that are related to my passion, like whatever it was. Because at the time, I wasn't into art. I didn't realize that I liked painting at all until last August is where I realized it. So I mean, that just goes to show things can change so quick in life for the good, definitely for the good. Ooh, I like how that turned out. Yeah, I got it. 16 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. I can't even believe it's been 16 minutes already. It feels like it's been like two. I'm not really racing the clock. I'm just paying attention. Um, yeah, I like blue. Tell you about colors. When I was a kid, blue was my favorite color for sure. And then as I got older, I started to feel like purple was because um, I think I just wanted to be different. I mean, I was like, blue is so like basic. That was like literally the kind of thought. I'm like, I gotta come up with something better. Like blue is like a sad color, right? That was what my mind was telling me back then. And I'm like, I gotta find a new favorite color. And so I started to say, you know what? Purple. And the funny thing about purple that I used to think was funny, it's red and blue mixed together, two opposites, making something. And that idea to me was so cool. And so I was saying purple forever. I like purple. I like blue. Like white. White goes with those complementary colors. I kind of like all the colors. The longer I think about it, eventually you're just like, yeah, kind of like everything. It's such an easy thing to do. You know what that is though? It's like when you're positive, everything seems to just kind of come your way. That's what I find. Um, all right, looking. I got like my paint all. I got like everything kind of down here. So I'm just gonna randomly grab stuff here and there. I got like this. I don't know. It's almost the same. I don't even know which it is. It's like a pink, but it's not pink. It's more like a salmon. Salmon's the word I was just looking for. And yet, it's called neon red, but I'm seeing that as a salmon color, but it's neon red apparently. Which, yeah, I get some neon colors here. You might be able to. It might look like it's neon. Like, oh, that's what that is, kind of thing. Yeah, a little mix of different colors. Let's try to add this on top. And what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to layer more color because I'm not putting enough color. I'm gonna do something. It's a little. Some art people might be like, "What are you, insane? You're gonna put paint directly on the canvas?" That's right. I'm gonna put some more of this on there, right on it. And I'm actually gonna do a couple colors like that. Because what I want to do is I want to create some depth, right? And I've learned that on a couple paintings that if I add the colors directly, I can get a lot more effective color onto the canvas quickly versus if I'm just playing with it in my paint wheel the whole time. So sometimes this works. It's kind of I don't think it works with traditional painting, but it certainly works with abstract painting. That might be why there's a difference of opinion there. Yeah, this is and another one. This is oil paint. So I mix oil and acrylic. I do whatever. It's mixed media, right? I think that's what you call it. I think that's actually usually referred to when you use digital and like, you know, traditional painting, and then you create a mixed media. But I mean, I'm calling it mixed media because I'm using different forms of paint. You know, I don't know. I might be wrong. That's just what I'm calling it because that's what I know. I don't know. So there you go. Hope it makes sense. But yeah, see how I'm able to. I mean, I'm even allowing the colors to mix a little because that's going to create something unique. And watch as I learned the scraping tool is so effective. Look at that. Oh my God. Isn't that cool? And then I can do that over here with this, and it's going to get a blend. These colors are going to blend together a little bit. And as I work it, this is another thing. The way I paint, and I don't know if everybody that does abstractions that's been doing it a while would agree. I think everyone has their own way. But what I notice, I don't have a plan necessarily. The only way I can have a plan is if I do, like, see how I got it drawn in pen. I'll take, it doesn't have to be a special pen. I'll just take a pen and I'll doodle out something of a idea, like maybe like a couple faces or some little, like, you know, I kind of did like a gradient, and then gradient, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean a horizon, and then a couple different little figures and forms and stuff. And even like the stopping to like point stuff out helps my process. Like it kind of, I like to talk through what I'm doing, and it's just it gives me a space to allow intuition to take over, because this is how I do it. I don't intend when I'm painting. I just allow intuition to do all the work. And occasionally I'll step in and be like, let's go in this direction. You know? Let's try this out. Let's do that. And so once I pull out the scraper, it's over because I'll just start. This is my baby, honestly. This is my favorite tool, scraper. And also another one, I'll use a different one too, though. I got this sponge. I got a bunch of them, but I'm going to keep using this dirty one. I'm going to try to add water to it. Let's see what that does. I don't use the sponge often, but I can get a lot of color on it. I can do textures with it. There's a lot of versatility with these tools. And for me, I'm learning a lot as I go. And I think that anyone could do this, by the way, if you want. If you like painting, just go do it. Go do it. It's worth it. Like, this stuff is cheap, man. Stuff, not a big deal. I'm gonna go white up here. I might be talking too much. I had a little bit of caffeine. When I went to Target, I got the Starbucks. Probably a bad move. It was a little late in the day. I don't know if anyone can relate. Now I'm gonna, I finished it. I don't know. It was around 5, so I might be good, but it might be a little tough to sleep. Yep, and this is another move. I'm gonna add some forms up here. These will come up later. Yeah. And yeah, so like I said, I don't really intend, but then as I'm going, I'll see things. And that's where I guess I come in. And that's what makes my stuff, is the choice of the little details. How's it look up here? Yeah, it's coming. It looks like the same as it did before, really. I mean, it's not like it's such a weird thing with this because it's such a process. It's just like if you think you're gonna get a result right away, it's not gonna change. It's just slow. It's kind of like life. It goes slow. And even, I have some intention behind this. Some sort of a plan. But boy, I appreciate you guys having something nice to say. I like that a lot. Means a lot to me. And I would I would say that anyone in life you come across, like a new person, stranger or something, it pays to be nice. Just a simple kindness, like a hello or a excuse me or like thank you. Thank you is good. Please, oh, thank you so much. Have a great day. Those little moments are important. Some people might not do it. Like they just like, whatever. I'm tired. Whatever. And that's fine. That's fine. But if you can, it's so important to do the little things because it's the little things that make the biggest difference. It's like you're building your pyramid, right? With everything you do in life. Everything you do in life counts. How about that? That might be a little bit too heavy for some people to think like that. And that's cool. That's just my way. I believe everything matters. And I also believe, which maybe this helps with the whole heaviness of it, even mistakes are incredibly valuable. Your mistakes, the mistakes other people make around you, the things you learn, like everything counts. Everything's a lesson. And it all plays out. Oh yeah, I'm not sure how these blues are gonna work when they stack on each other. Like, yeah, I can see it on the thing, but it might when it dries, it won't look much different. So we're gonna actually experiment with that. We'll see if we get a different effect. So we're gonna let some of these blues sit for a little while, and I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna put one down here. I'm gonna scrape it up, and even in doing that, we're gonna make something out of that. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, I'm gonna scrape that off. I'm gonna throw white. Somehow I got blue in there. I don't know if I scraped it all off, but I guess that was intentional. Not my intention, but it works. Whatever works. Oh yeah. Sometimes I like to think I'm not even the painter. It's something else doing it. And I'm just the witness. See, because I didn't want to lose this color, I'm going to scrape down a little. And we're going to get a pretty interesting effect out of that. We might even get something really cool. And then that's why I like painting too, because it's just so malleable. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. It just always seems to work out like magic. Like finally, I can do something with magic in the world, instead of just being a dreamer, to be a doer. Yeah. We can add some blue on top of this, but I want to be careful because if I mix them, it's not going to do what I intend here. Because if I try to like paint it on too much, it'll mix with that and it creates this color that I'm not going for. So I guess what I'm saying is I've learned a little bit about painting. And actually, I surprise myself sometimes that I know stuff. I'm like, wow, I don't. How do I know that? That's crazy. You know how I do that? I practiced. I just did it, and then eventually it adds up. So if that is poignant to you in any way, like anyone listening, if something in your life you want to do, and you just kind of been just not doing it for some reason, maybe you can't find the time, I mean, or even better, if you don't have the confidence to go after it, I think that's a lot easier to break through and just do it. You know, if there's a confidence block, you don't have to have that. You could just go for it, and that's how you do it. There was this really great metaphor that I was reading, because I post on Threads a lot. I learned about that like a while back, and it's a subs genre from Instagram. I guess they came out with it. I don't know, and it's like you post text, and other people post text, and then it's like a message board kind of deal. And in that, I saw this one post. It was an image of like two ladders, right? One ladder was really crappy looking, but it was done. And the other ladder was perfect looking, but it was only like one or two steps was built, and all the rest of it was not done. And the person wrote, or the caption was something to the effect of, what was it? If you go for perfection, you will never be able to achieve anything. Like, I mean, like if you try to do it perfect, I'm going to sum it up better, hopefully. Yeah, if you try to go for something perfect, you're going to possibly analysis paralysis yourself out of even doing it at all. That ladder could have been sitting there unfinished for weeks. And then the ladder that was crappy next to it, someone might have threw that up in, just a quick, just make it so it works. Safety first and all that, but it works, right? And if it looks dumb, but it works, it ain't dumb. So which one succeeded? The guy who was going for the perfect ladder, but didn't really do it? Or the guy who just did it anyway, even though he couldn't do it perfect? I think that by just doing it, you learn so much. And maybe even you learn more than reading all the books in the world about it without doing it. But I'll tell you, reading books is good, but you got to do it too. Like, otherwise it's theory, right? There's a line when theory becomes reality. So like there's one. When I was a kid, I've said this before. When I was a kid, I used to draw, and it was fun. And to me, it was kind of like building Legos, because I used to like doing that too. And I would do it for hours. I would just like build little things and like make up little stories, and I would just do that. And it was like, I loved doing that. It was fun. And it was kind of like just a etch a sketch kind of thing. Like you're playing with it, and then you put them all away at the end anyway. Like I'm not really like making anything, but it was that process of doing it, and it felt like really like fun, and I enjoyed it. So when I was drawing, I would kind of do the same thing. I would draw like just with like a feeling, I'm just like drawing stuff, I would draw like little weird images and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't see any value in that other than I'm just screwing around. Like I never heard of abstract painting. And I just thought I was terrible at drawing, painting, and there was nothing there for me. And it just was something that I should stop doing because I don't have talent at it. So why am I doing it? And I guess I kind of gave up on it. I must have stopped when I was a teenager because I was doing it for fun up until then. And that's when, you start to get like in your own feelings about stuff more. And then you kind of strip away your childhood a little bit. And then I think that touches on something that's really important. When you get into adulthood and you start to figure stuff out and you are able to, you're working, you get a car or drive, these are things. You don't necessarily have to drive, I guess, depending on where you live. But that was a big one for me, driving. Um, the milestones, you get those. Okay. Now you're a working person. You got stuff going on. You hopefully have a couple hobbies, right? Like things you like to do for fun. Hopefully you have friends, right? Um, and with your hobbies as an adult, the hobbies you had as a kid, this is what I find a lot of adults have this happen, where you had all these hobbies, these things that you were able to do and you had time, right? But then when you become an adult and you have to work 40 hours a week or whatever, you don't perceive that there's time. It's gone, right? How could I have my passions? I really loved like saying, I'm just trying to think of an example that's not me. Like I really love to go for jogs all the time. Like I would run around and I would do fitness and stuff. And then now that I work all the time, I'm in an office. Like yeah, I go to the gym, but I don't run anymore. I don't hike anymore like I used to because I don't have time, man, and blah blah blah. But I think as you become more in tune with yourself, maybe you give yourself that time that you deserve. You deserve to have your time, and you can look at in your life. And please, I'm just giving my opinions. I know everybody's different. I know there's people out there that they don't have time. It's possible that you have so much going on that you actually don't have time for your passions. But don't give up. You know, there might be a change that happens later. So even if it's just a tiny piece of your passion, give yourself a little room for it. People like to cook. That's a good one. Cooking and stuff. Now I notice I have like literally like 1, 2 viewers, but you know what? I like that because that's somebody. And also, this is for me too. And I said that in another video. It's all about really like when you're doing something you love, you gotta do it for you. Because if you're doing it for anybody else, their approval and stuff, like you're people pleasing with it, I just don't think you're gonna keep it up because people have lives. People don't care in life. This isn't. I'm not like saying that about me. Even I'm saying that that's how life is. Nobody cares. I had a boss say that once, and that was really poignant for me. Like different people over my life, but he was like in a leadership position, and he was telling me, just so you know, nobody cares. Like you don't have to like worry so much. And I know that's not everybody, but for me, that made a big difference. Because I think I was someone who analysis paralysis my way out of a lot of opportunities in life. And like I said, no mistakes, because instead of going after my dreams younger, I developed other stuff. You know, other things happened that were necessary. So you don't have to force a perfect moment. Maybe it was perfect all along. Maybe you are enough. And you were always enough. And maybe all you have to do is just be who you are. You don't have to try to become anything. What do you think of that? So we're doing a lot of experimenting, aren't we? What do we got? It does look kind of cool, doesn't it? It's kind of cool. Oh, yeah. I mean, that ain't done at all. Don't get me wrong. But even just that image right there, I didn't even see that until I looked at the camera. That's kind of cool. It almost looks like I'm pretty developed at doing this. I see like those circles up here. They're like maybe lollipops or balloons, or even almost looks like a big Q-tip, like that one with the pink there. It's like a big Q-tip, and it's like the other side's all messed up. It's like run out. That's part of the fun of it, is the reading the image, and through reading it, I can come up with an idea that I maybe wouldn't have seen. Let's try something different. This color. What time we got? Oh my goodness, 42 minutes. This is why I keep track of time, because I can just disappear a lot of time if I'm not doing that. And that's why I do it. But when you do what you love, well, time goes fast when you're having fun. The lesson there is pay attention. So I want to make a form with yellow down there. Yeah, like around here. What do we got on there? A wheel bar? What's that, a wheel bar? I'm curious. I'm gonna hit the oil. But thank you for telling your friend about me. You know, the more people that are interested that come along and see my stuff. Oh, a wheel baby. A what? I know, it's freaking annoying how the typos happen. Like that happens to me all the time, and like it's constant. Like I'll be typing like a big long thing, and I look at it, and I'm like, "Wow, I got to go back and edit like the whole thing." And you just do it, but it's frustrating. Autocorrect, yeah, autocorrect. That's what gets me, because like I'll type it, and then it'll autocorrect, and then I'll retype it, and then it autocorrects again, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is keeps happening." And it's like a little moment of like, uh but it's funny. It's funny. All right, here we go. Let's do something here. We're pulling our color up, and this is going to make like some sort of an effect, right? And we're going to do something with that. Oh boy, I like that. I like that. And yeah, we're losing our blue, but the thing is, I didn't sacrifice a lot of mixing. You see, I got a little green, but not much. That's why I put a lot there, and I'm actually going to hit it again but I don't want it to mix. I want to keep the yellow distinct. And that's something that the reason I'm so like into that is because before in my earlier stuff that I was doing, I would get frustrated a little bit because I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to lay out the color. And what I'm actually doing is making it mix. It's a live and learn kind of thing. And now I got a little bit of yellow on here. And I'm thinking where I'm going to put that, you know? Where am I going to put it? But yeah, by the way, Jackson C14, thank you for telling your friend about me. That is so cool. And I will post my lives when they come in instead of leaving them private. At first I was thinking of just leaving them private, but now I realize like that's kind of the fun of it. You know, if somebody is interested in going and checking it out, you could just go back and look through the lives and find interesting stuff. Like it's just kind of fun, you know. So maybe that'll be a good move. You know, do it for the people that care. You know, maybe there will be one or two. And that's all that matters. It's not like I imagine a big audience. I don't really mind. I like that it's small right now. I really like this right here. The way the white is and the blues. And we still got like a bird going on here. And I liked that. There was like a bird going on and we kind of lost some of it, but we still got some up here. And you know what? I got an idea. We're gonna throw this up here too. In this area where we got a couple and we already got some yellow, we're gonna develop it. We're gonna do like a hard scrape. And we're gonna go back on it a little. And we're gonna get something out of that. All right. Moving on. I'm gonna throw white on that too. And then we're gonna bring it down a little. We're gonna create a form. And actually I'm noticing while I'm scraping it away, we're protecting from mixing that blue and yellow. Because I think that's that's becoming a cardinal sin in my mind, like mixing the blues and the yellows to make green unintentionally. That's like something I'm working on. As weird as that might sound. Oh, we lost everybody now. we got nobody. It's just me and the gods at this point, right? That was what was that from? That was something Bukowski said. That it'll be just you and the gods. Something like that. Yeah, maybe I'm going on and on a little too much about the things. And this is a learning experience, after all. I think I'll find my stride somewhere along the line. And also, there's no mistakes. You know, people. Oh, you had to do something. Yeah, please. If you got to do anything, don't worry about me. Do not. But I do appreciate it. I had that conversation with my pen pal. I got a pen pal, that's right. And we were saying to each other, like, well, he was saying to me, and I was in agreement with him, that, you know, if you need to go do something or whatever, don't feel like you're obligated to stick around and, you know, like do it for you, man. Have your time, you know, even if it takes you days to call back or text back, because we basically just text, you know, pen pal. And that's kind of cool, really cool for me with my inner artist, like a writer, a poet or whatever, is that I'm waxing poetics with somebody through text and voice chat. Like, so, like, we'll send like little voice messages back and forth. And actually, that's poignant because that's what started this. Because I sent one voicemail, because he was sending voicemails and he would talk and I would hear his voice. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I would voice to text, and that would allow me to, send stuff really fast. And then we could have like a lot of like depth in our conversations really quickly with a short amount of time. But what I realized is I liked the voice messages for different reasons because it gave me this understanding of where he was at with the conversation on a deeper level. And then I realized, well, I can do that too. That's a big deal. I can do that too in life. And so I sent him one, and I sent him another, and I sent him, and then at one point I listened to one because I would listen to mine back because I'm I'm making sure it sounds normal or whatever. Like I didn't like sound weird or whatever. But I heard it and I'm like, wow, I hit a pretty good point there. I like that a lot actually. And then I had this idea. I said, oh yeah, you know what? How about I make that into like a little, like I put like a clip show on my art and stuff. Like I've been trying to figure out a way to do that. And why don't I just put that as like like I'm talking about this thing and then I put my stuff on there. And I did that like a few days ago. And then that turned into like it didn't like blow up and become famous. Like that's not what it's about. What it was about is I saw it and I liked it myself. Like when I looked at it, I was like, that's what I like. That was cool. I made something that I like. And that was the ticket. And that's something that led me into confidence that led me to do these live streams. And I feel like this is a huge motivator for me to paint because what happens for me, thank you so much, Fayafori 2.0. I recognize that name. Okay, hello. Seeing you again. Welcome back. Thank you so much. So yeah, life and stuff. Lost my train of thought, but that is cool because I like that. Now I'm in a different zone. I don't need my train of thought all the time. We'll find it. And I got like a little stick figure guy here. I'm thinking of what to do with him. I want to, I'm thinking like a light, dark color. A light dark color. That's unique, isn't it? How did I do that before? Like I take like a red and I mix it with like little, like this brown. Perfect. I got the brown and I got the red now. And we're going to add, okay, that's oil. Okay. And then I'm going to add some white, which I have some white right here. So we're going to use our brush that's got some red on it. I'm going to coat it in white. And we're going to mix it with the red and the brown. And then we're going to bring it to the white. Now we're going to get this weird color. Interesting. It kind of turned like blue. That was weird. So there's too much brown. Okay. We're going to put it in a different spot. We're going to get more white. I didn't have enough white. See, this is always an experiment for me, like how this works. And I know that every time I do something, I'm going to get better at it. That's for everybody. I'm no special person. Honestly, anyone can do that. Anything you do, you get better at. That is a law. That is a law like gravity. Oh, really? I got to check them out. I'm really glad you're telling me about somebody else that's a creator because that's what it's all about, too. Like that's why I like those art pages so much on Facebook, because I can see other artists and get really cool ideas, and we can collaborate, and I can talk to them and tell them how awesome their stuff is. Because literally 9.9 times out of 10, people's stuff is valid. The only time it's not is if it's coming from a place of ego, or perhaps they're really, really new. But even then, it's really cool. So even if somebody like has zero development at something, it's still interesting. So I mean, the bottom line is, if you want to do anything in life, just start, and then you'll figure it out along the way. Like, oh, it's a great motivational thing. It's ready, fire, aim, not ready, aim, fire. Because if you ready, aim, and then you try to fire after that, you're gonna analysis paralysis yourself. You're gonna be stuck, like in the ready aim, and you'll overthink it. Like, but you ready, and the ready is all you need. You're like, okay, I got all my stuff, and you just do it. And then you aim like a missile, like a heat seeking missile. You're aiming, and you'll figure it out as you go. But you have to be going. You have to be a heat seeking missile, not a missile ready to fire. Because in that ready to fire position, you could get stuck there forever, if that makes sense. She makes the cover art for uh, Kiko. I'm so bad at pronouncing that one. Music. Okay. Kiko's music. I hope that was close. Japanese producer. Oh, that's pretty neato. I gotta check them out. Glad you said that. Huh. I could even deep dive that and learn about it. I mean, I could also do one of these. Well, that's cool. So we're we're not so different, you and I. Guess that's what I'm getting at mostly, anyway. We're all just people experiencing life. Not one any better than the other. Anyone can do anything. Put that on a t-shirt. I'm gonna try to make some cloud here. Yeah, see, it's got depth because it's got this dark blue with it. So we're making some depth with it. And I'm just gonna expand it a little. And even if I don't like how that looks, it's negative space that I can work with. You know what I'm saying? And how's that look there? I mean, it's a speck on a canvas that you could barely see, but you can't even get close. What do you mean? What do you mean you can't even get close? I'm curious what you're talking about. Tell me more. Tell me more is a good thing to ask. You learn so much when you ask that question. Pronouncing. Oh yeah, pronouncing it. Yeah, I mean, you know what it makes me. It's funny. It makes me think like Kikyo. Like Inuyasha, but it's not. It's like Kikuo. Oh, maybe it's Kikuo. Oh, I just said it as you typed it. That's so cool. Kikuo. Wow. You just confirmed it as I said it. That is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. See how cool that was? I thought that was amazing. That was like serendipity. If you don't know serendipity, it's a cool concept. Yeah, Kikuo. I think you're right. I think we got it. I think we got there. Kikuo. Yeah, it's like I was looking at it and I'm like, what on earth? I've never said that before. Huh, how about that? I've never done that before. Yeah, that's like a lifetime. All right. So I got these. I don't like that color at all that I'm putting on there, but I feel like it's gonna go somewhere. I don't have to like it all the time either. That's another one that I'm realizing. It's the trusting the process. Kikuo. Now I got it in my head. That's good. All right, we're gonna do a big scrape right here. Big one. And we're gonna take it up like that. Yeah, take it up. Because I don't have a whole lot of paint on the canvas. And with one I did recently, I just put tons of paint on the canvas. And I loved that because I could scrape around on it. But I don't want to do that here because I can't do the same thing every time. I got to go in different directions. I have to experiment. And that's the only way I'm going to learn. It's the only way. So I almost purposely do stuff that's a little uncomfortable sometimes just because I know that's going to take me somewhere new. If anyone can relate, let me know. Look at that yellow. Let's see, we got something here. Yeah, like that. Painting along with you. Although I've got to stop because I need to do my chores in a second. I feel you. Yep, and that is that's more important. You know, it's like make your bed, right? That is so important. You gotta do your chores. Like clean your room. You got like that's who said that? Like a psychologist, famous psychologist. Oh, it's gonna come to me. Jordan Peterson said that. Not everyone's a fan of Jordan Peterson, but that was a good one. Clean your room. And who else said it? It was like it was a like graduation speech guy. Colonel McRaven. Yeah, he had like the white hat and stuff. Colonel McRaven. Was he a colonel? Is it McRaven? The memory is foggy, but that man had one heck of a speech, and it stuck with me. Like just pieces of it, just the idea of it. Like maybe I don't remember everything, and that's almost a blessing because if I remembered everything, like writ detail, every single piece of it, then that makes me like a copycat, right? But because I only remember what I remember, it's like a gift. How about that? I'm so glad, by the way, though, that you were painting along with me. That is so cool. That's almost like what this is all about, in a way. It's one of the many things this is all about. I'll put it that way. It's not one or the other, it's both. Yes. All right, how much time are we at? We are at 1 hour, 3 minutes. I can go another 15 at least, but I do have to cut it soon. 15, I can definitely do another. But the reason why is a similar thing. I gotta do my routine. I gotta work tomorrow, you know? And I gotta get to bed. And I like to get in early because that helps everything. Getting in early, if you have a situation where you have a choice of what time you get to work, that's a blessing. But it's also important that you don't take advantage of that because you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches if you just go in early. You know, and or like even if it's not work, if it's like get the thing done before, because then you're ahead of it, and that does something mentally for you that's positive. If you get the thing done first, then you're going to be in a better state of mind, and then you're going to have this abundance. Ooh, that's a good word, abundance. You're going to have abundance. And from a state of abundance, you can do so much. As opposed to being in a place where you're like, oh, yeah, it's like an anxiety, right? Or, yeah, because like if you leave something to do it later, every time you do that, oh, it's called procrastination. Wow, that was a tongue twister for me today. Why? Procrastination is such a thing. When I learned that word when I was a kid, I was like, wow, I do that every single day. And boy, when I stopped doing that, I mean, it happens sometimes, but overall, when I stopped doing that, my life, I can't snap with the glove, but my life changed just like that. Instant, just as fast as when I started, making my bed, when I started getting up early, when I started to care, but actually do it, not just like care and say I care and then stress out about caring. I just do it and I care and I do it. And with that, you can actually get something accomplished. So, whatever it is you're trying to do or thinking you want to do or whatever, you are so much better off just doing it than thinking about it. And I know that doesn't apply to everything, but it applies to a lot of things. Mhm. So, we're going to go at it again in a different way. One more time. Maybe one more time. I get these little flowers and stuff. We're going to go small. I get these little brushes I have neglected. My poor little brushes are getting neglected right now. This one. Look at that little guy. That's a good one. Yeah, I was there. Are you like college or like high school or what's up? I only ask because that frames it better for me for when I was younger. Um, but it doesn't really matter. You don't have to tell me. Because I can go with it anyway. Oh wow! I just realized I can connect these things and make like little horns. That's pretty cool. All right. See, the little brushes come. I couldn't do that with the bigger brush, and I can do it with this little one. And I didn't even see it until I started. Isn't that just like my point? And it's being applied right now. Wow. You're young? Yeah. Um, okay, so that could actually apply to me. So let's say high school, let's say middle school, let's say those grades. Because I didn't go to college. I was picturing maybe you were in college or something. I didn't know. Um, so when I was in school, I'll say like this middle school is where I started to slack. And I was really bad. I don't even know how I was making it. I guess I was getting lucky with the teachers and stuff, and they would just like, I don't know. It felt like I did nothing the whole time. It was bad. And I regret it so much because later on, it wasn't until so much later when I was getting my GED, which is like a high school equivalency because I didn't finish high school. That's how far gone I was. I wouldn't go that path ever in life if you have a choice. Because here's my point. I realized when I was doing that GED class, and this is, I'm gonna look at the camera, that I loved that class. I loved to learn. I loved it. And it was the weirdest thing because I hated it. Why did I hate it when I was a kid? You get straight A's. Oh, you had straight A's last year, but I don't know why I'm doing bad this year. Well, your painting is so good, and the painting gives off an elemental effect. Wow, thank you for that. All right. Um, really, that's awesome, Jackson. Thank you. So you had straight A's, but you don't know why you're doing bad this year. And we are at, I'm trying to frame it in my mind. So we're into January. We're halfway, right? Kind of. Yeah. Well, basically, we're at that halfway point or whatever. Maybe. Um, I digress. I'm thinking while I'm talking. Uh, hold on, it's coming. So what happened to me, There was a point where, well, so that I can talk from where I'm coming from. When I was in middle school, is where I dropped off. When I was in elementary school, I was killing it. I was a little kid. I mean, come on. I was doing good though. I really cared. I really tried, and I was like motivated. I can tell you what happened to me. I remember now as I'm saying it, I got dissuaded by the social aspect of school. I in elementary school, it was like all the kids were the same. And I think this is a really common thing. When I went into middle school, my mind was all messed up because you're going through all these changes and stuff and your life and your feelings and you're growing up and it's a weird time. And for me, that created this huge diffusion in my ability to talk to people. I like got so much anxiety, so much fear filled me up. I know that that doesn't happen to everybody at all, and thank God, because it was awful. I didn't even, and I know now what I must have had to do and I didn't do was just face my fear and start talking to people and realizing it's not so scary, but I didn't do that. I just stayed in that state of fear, and it made it so. Here's the bigger thing: I was staying up late. I wasn't going to bed when I was really supposed to. I would sneak and stay up late, watch TV, play video games, all the stuff you're not supposed to do. And the parents are saying not to do it for a reason. It's not just because they want to keep the fun stuff away. It's because when you do that, now you've just set yourself up for failure every day at school. You're dead tired. That was me. Yeah, we're not so different. So, and I have two daughters, and they probably, I know they experience a lot of the same stuff. So that's another reason why it's so close to home for me, because I think about it for them, and I went through it. But it's different for everyone. We all have, it's like they call it a spectrum, the way that anxiety works in the similar way to other spectrums in life, where everyone's at a different level with what they're experiencing. But some similarities are with everybody. So the anxiety, the social anxiety for me, I'm gonna tell you, if you have social anxiety, you don't have to try to get over it right now. I'm not saying like go do it. I'm saying you will get over it one day. It'll be gone. It'll be gone. But the only way it goes away, in my experience, is when you face it. You start to do that thing that makes you scared, and it'll start to go away bit by bit. Do little stuff. That's my advice. I would say do like the little thing. Like for me, a big one was thank you so much. And you too, Jackson. Have a great night. 6 a.m. every night. Yep, that was me. Oh yeah, not every night, but yeah, basically, I'd be seeing the sun come up, and then the next day I got to go to school, and it's like, okay, now this is going to be horrible. Yeah, um, that's called a habit of, a bad habit. I would say it's a bad habit, but it's a habit, and there's a lot of reasons why a person would do that that are valid. So for me, I would stay up late and do that because I felt like that gave me time to myself that I didn't get at school. So I had me time, and I would enjoy my things with that time. And there's definitely validity to that. But if you enter the world of like going up, getting up early, doing your thing, you know, getting used to that process, it gets better. But if you stay in the world of staying up till 6 a.m. all the time, it's kind of not going to change until that changes. You're going to be in that same situation. So if you're and yeah, so if you're having trouble, that's probably the source right there for you. Staying up super late, and I know it's like when you have a habit, it's super hard to break it, like at first. But I'm gonna say this that once you start, it gets easier. You just have to decide to do it. It's kind of like when you decide to actually like do something, anything in life, it just automatically because you decided, it gets easier. I'll say that. I know I'm giving a lot of advice, but it's really close to home to me. So you don't have to follow any of it because I know, and this is another thing, I know that it'll work out automatically. You don't even have to worry. No worry, no fear. It's going to fix itself someday, for sure. Guaranteed. Maybe even you'll be somebody who loves talking to people someday, who loves all the things you're afraid of. You might love it because that's what happened to me, believe it or not. I went from being really, really anxious, so anxious. Oh, yeah, now I'm remembering where I was going with that. I was saying before, like an example, uh, like I would go, for example, to just get something from the convenience store, and I would feel so nervous, like for no reason, right? Like I would be telling myself, I don't understand why this is so hard for me. I would get so nervous, like just the whole process. And I'd have all this negativity in my head, like they think I'm stealing something or, you know what I mean? Like it was like all these thoughts were running through my head that were negative. And I believed that was me at the time. I thought that like I was the problem, but it's not that. It's that those things exist because of a series of things going on in your mind. And it's not your fault that that's happening. And you can undo it by believing you can do it. You know, you just kind of go at it. And then you just say to yourself, I can't take it anymore. I want to be able to do this thing without feeling this way. And then so what you do at that point, once you're fed up, it's easier because then you're like, all right, I'm going to make myself go do this thing. That'd be the advice. You make yourself do something really small. Go to the convenience store once a week and do something, like get something, and then kind of get used to that process. Because that's what everything in life is. It's a process. It's a series of skills. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. Sounds like you got a really good mom because the advice I give is real. And that real advice is a blessing. You know, I love when people give me advice when I'm from that position of asking or not even asking, just where it could help. Like anytime when I was a kid, I would get somebody giving me some good advice. I would know it's good advice and it would matter a lot. And even if I didn't really use that advice right away, it stuck with me. Because I'll tell you this, memories are attached to feelings a lot. So when you do something and you feel it or you think something with some passion behind it, that enhances the value of that memory to you and it makes it easier to remember. So if you like, for example, want to remember something, if you kind of like you say it with a little power, you're like you know, like this is stupid, but it works. Um, like you want to do your times tables, like you give it a little oomph, like something like almost like when you're singing a song, like the ABCs. Why do we all know the ABCs? Because it's a song, you know, and you memorize it through song. So that's a feeling, right? Music's a feeling. And it's really difficult to turn everything into a song. So that's why I say go after some feeling with something. You know, I mean, I know that that is uh, not something that you may be able to apply right away, but I told you it. So I think that that was me planting the seed. And one day, perhaps, all of it will kind of make sense in a new light. Like you'll probably learn stuff many, many times. That's what happened to me. I learned things in layers, you know? It's kind of like a canvas. Like it comes in layers. And you'll learn the same lesson at a different level, different times in your life. It's like you get deeper with it, But then by the end, like as you get like you're an adult and stuff, the lessons come in like it's a return. You're gonna go back to childhood by the time you figure a lot of stuff out emotionally and realistically in your life at the same time. You go back to childhood because you go back to that place you were in purity, right? So you were without all that drama that happens as you're growing up. And once you overcome it in the end, you get to feel like a kid again, but you're an adult with adult stuff. And it's amazing. So that's coming for sure. And that's a great feeling. So be in good cheer. It's all working out. Wow, it's a song for the times table. That's really cool. How did I do it? I memorized them like you know what it's weird, and maybe you could relate. Like 6 times 6 is 36, 7 times 7 is 49. Because I memorized the ones that are the same, and then I kind of built it off of that, you know. And I even like off the top of my head, like 8 times 8 64. And there's another way too. I might have just got that wrong. But see, you lose things a little bit later too, and that's okay. But I used to have them all memorized down to a science, right? And that's when you need it, when you got to do a math test. But everything kind of comes and goes as it needs to in life, and then it'll come back at a random time when you need it. So, I mean, the bottom line is you don't have to worry so much if you just let things happen. Like, yeah, the feelings happen. Like, you're going to feel like the anxiety kind of thing. But that goes away more and more and more over time. And it's so awesome as it goes away. And the best way to make it go away is each area of your life you do things. Go to the store, take opportunities to get a little scared. You know, the stuff that's workable. Like, you know, I hope that makes sense. Um, you don't remember the song, but you still remember the times tables. Wow, that's so cool. So you got the thing you needed. And that actually makes a lot of sense because you needed it. You didn't need the song, you just needed the times tables. And once that entered your brain, it stayed. That's really cool. And that's how it works. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. See, I got this blue here. And like there's pieces of blue, and when I throw white over it, it like does this thing. And I like that thing. Like they mix a little. I like when blue and white mix. Like certain colors, I like when they mix. It's a time and a place thing. All right, we're at 9:51. We will go until 10. We will go until 10. And then at that point, I think I'm gonna put up my worms, and that's brushes, and we're gonna call it a night. So we got 9 minutes. And I really appreciate you sticking it out with me. And that's awesome. It's awesome that somebody thinks that this is cool at this level. Because I do have a feeling someday, if I keep doing this, I'll get some sort of an audience going. But I am a little boring. I gotta learn over time. I will learn ways to be engaging with the audience. I don't know how to do that yet, but I believe it's possible. I'm going to try an abstract painting tonight with watercolor. I've inspired you. Oh my goodness. That's wonderful. wonderful. Yep. And just make whatever you want, because whatever you want when it comes to creating is always correct. It's always right. There's no wrong answers here. You know, I say that, but as long as it's positive. I mean, actually, like art that's coming from like a dark place is also very, very cool. But I like art coming from a lighthearted place, personally, the most. Because I got one painting that's pretty creepy looking. But it's actually when I look at it, it's not so creepy. It's kind of like beautiful. So it's the eye of the beholder. Yeah. Eye of the beholder. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's making like an explosion effect right here. That is wild. Yeah, see, when I like it, you know, I didn't used to do that earlier on. Um, like that moment where I'm like, ooh, I like that. I wasn't as confident about when I like something early on. I was more like, I gotta be perfect kind of thing. But that stripped away over time. And we got closer to childhood through development and mastery. Development towards mastery. I don't like the idea of ever saying you've mastered something necessarily, because even somebody who is at the level where they can pretty much do whatever they want, they could still learn something from everyone. Everyone has something to offer the world. And with that belief, we can get a lot closer to each other in communication, and communication being the key to everything. And we can realize that we're all more the same than we thought. It's division in the world that's unfortunate. When people get like in cliques and stuff, and, we don't talk to them, but we talk to them, you know, I don't love that. I wish we could all just be friends, but it's kind of tough to make that happen. And I don't know. I'm just blabbing. I like blabbing. That's why I'm here. Somebody to talk to. Wow, I got a little tiny heart in one of those circles. It's so small, but I'm keeping that one. I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to intentionally leave that there. I do that a lot. Like if I find something I really like and I'm still working it, I'll find spots in sections that I keep, and that builds the whole thing. And then eventually I'm just looking at it and I'm like, it's done. It's complete. And even at that point, I might still have like some doubt, like, maybe I'll go back to it. But you got to just put your stuff down at one point and say, enough's enough. I'll check it later. That's actually a really cool thing to do, by the way. Like, come back to it later. You only started adding color last year. So you were working on the, you know, the rest of it first. I was doing that when I was a kid. That's all I did. I never really painted with colors. I didn't paint. I mean, use colors at all. I would just use black and white. I would just draw little squiggles and stuff, and like try to draw a dog or try to draw a person. You know, I'd put too much try into it, and I wouldn't. I don't know. Like, if you put a lot of effort into making it realistic, you can do it. But for me, I would get like, I don't know, like ADHD or whatever that people say, but I would just not want to put in that effort to really do something that's traditionally good looking. So that's why I chose to go in the direction of just painting with feeling, because you can do that so quickly. You can get something so fast if you paint with feeling, and that's so satisfying. And even though I say it's fast, you can get something really fast. That doesn't mean you're done. But it's really a great doorway into art, because it's something you can do quickly and pick it up and start, and then have some sort of a start. And then I think through doing that, some artists, I know that they do, they start with abstraction and then they decide somewhere along the line to start doing more traditional art, and they develop that as well, both of them. You can do all of it. You can do everything. But it's just so happens for me that I start from this place of the abstract. And that's what I really love. So I'm going with it. Perhaps one day I'll change. But I ain't going to find out if I don't do it. I'm never going to know if I don't do it. Coloring's your favorite part now. You can't believe you only did sketches back then. Yeah, you grew. You learned some stuff. That's what happens. When you get to a new place and you look back, oh, that's magical, because then you see where you've come and it's like, wow, I can't believe I used to do that. I mean, it doesn't have to be so dramatic like magical, but I love it. And I think when you make it dramatic a little bit, sometimes it helps to make it even more important to you that you've come this far. And naysayers in the world will be like, don't do that. Don't listen to them. Believe in yourself and enjoy who you are in life. That's the most important thing. Because I promise you, you will figure everything out through that a lot quicker than if you follow a negative voice in the world. But respect your elders, obviously. I'm not saying like, I think you get it. I mean, I'm just giving you my perspective. Yeah. I'm trying to give like a full perspective that's fair. I don't, I mean, I'm just telling you what I know because it's my experience. I've come a long way in life. And that's why I see so much potential in everyone. Because if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? You know, that's a good place to be when you believe that. So we're using this little brush again. Right, and now I'm reminding myself about these little forms that I was making here, attaching them, these little spikes. So I'm going to try to build them again. And I say try, but I am building them again. You'll hear that, like that's a famous quote or whatever. There is no try. You do or you do not. Well, trying's okay. It's experimental effort, but you're doing it, right? I guess the idea is you don't want to have to do something. If you're going to do it, you really do it. If you're like making your bed, you really make your bed. You don't have to do it. Like you're not like I mean you can, but I notice like if you try to do something without fully paying attention to it, it's a lot harder than if it is if you just kind of focus on it real quick and then get it done and then move on. But I know that's that's a discipline that's hard to develop, and it's totally valid if that's not there at this time. I just think that it's something to consider in life. That's good. At least I'm saying the right stuff. If your mom's saying it, it's the right stuff. You know, it sounds like, I mean, not everyone's mom's like that, but it sounds like you got a real good mom. So that's awesome. I'm happy for you. I got a good mom too. All right. I got, how long do we got? Oh, we're past the point. All right. 2-minute warning. Okay. I do this a lot. I'm like, all right, 2 more minutes. I just want to try to do something with this little field before I call it a night. I got this green that's just sitting here waiting to be used. So we're going to take another small brush and we're going to go in with the green a little bit. We're just going to do something, you know. And I got those little frogs I want to do something with. So let's put some green on one of these little frogs, huh? And it kind of looks more like a creepy jellyfish. I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of cool in itself. I'm just gonna put a little color on them. I'm not even gonna finish them, and that's gonna make them look really unique. And I got a couple of them here, and I think that'll help me for later because I'm gonna do the trick. What you do is you don't have to do this every time. You can just do one painting and be done with it. But I find that if I do a painting, start it, put some time into it, and then at some point say, this is a stopping point, and then I go at it again. I find that I get something more, well, I don't want to say more. I get something different than I do if I'm able to do it all in one sitting. And it's also good for my timeline because I get to do my stuff, right? So I can do what I got to do. Like, you know, I got to get ready for bed. I gotta brush my teeth and, you know, all that stuff. And so it's really important to have the ability to say, I will get back to this later, and then honestly get back to it later. That's the thing. Like, you don't want to lie to yourself. You don't want to be like, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. It's okay if you couldn't get to it, but don't let yourself just totally let go and not do it ever. Because then you kind of feel bad, and you don't want to feel bad. That's my 2 cents. It's something I learned in life. And I learned it again and again, actually. And that's why I try to teach my kids so that they don't make the same mistakes I did. You know, and they're not mistakes really, because I learned so much from everything that happened in my life, so it works out. But I think you get there faster if you get some good advice along the way. Like, everyone does better with a mentor, right? All right, and I'm just adding some of this up here just to give it a little something. All right, now how's it look on this camera? Well, it doesn't look done, but it certainly has some character. I'll say that much. We are at 99 minutes. Oh my God. Let's do something fun. I'm gonna end it at 9999 just because it's fun. I'm gonna end it right at that. I'm gonna see if I can do that. So we're gonna try this little move here. I got like 30 seconds. And so I'm gonna be going off. It was lovely to be painting with you. And I hope to see you again. And I hope you have a good night. And I hope you enjoy painting. See, we're going to end strong. That's what we're practicing. Oh, we went over. That's all right. How about we end it on... it doesn't matter. It's okay. Maybe we'll end it on that note. It's okay. We went over. All right. Have a great night. And I'll end it on the 30. Ready? 1, 2. Next time. Up, up.